Hey everybody, hey out there. Hello, Margaret Lynch-Ranieri here, and today I'm going to attempt to give you a 5 or 6 point summary of the 1 hour class I just taught on the second chakra. So thank you for being a subscriber. If you're not a subscriber yet, please hit that subscribe button so that you don't miss all the new videos and the tapping hacks I'm putting up here. But what I'm going to do right now is to try to summarize the 1 hour I just finished teaching. It's part of my Unblocked series. We're celebrating another anniversary, another year of my book, Unblocked, being out, where I walk through the 4 lower chakras to open up your power, your passion, your energy, and your feeling of aliveness, which is what we're talking about with the second chakra. So I taught for an hour. It's a totally free call. If you don't have it, I'll put the link in the description so you can get the whole series. But today was the second chakra class. I literally just got off the Zoom call with everybody, and I wanted to give you my best attempt at summarizing. So as we're talking about the second chakra, we're talking about the aliveness, the fuel, the passion, the desire, the animating force that animates our life, because we're building on the first chakra call that we did in the first of the Unblocked series. And the first chakra is solid, and you feel calm and relaxed and in your body, or you feel unsafe when your nervous system is triggered or hijacked by the fight or flight, which we talked about a lot in that first chakra call. But at the second chakra, we have this animating impulse that lifts us off the couch, lifts us off our chair, and has us living our passion, going after our desires. But so many of us sign up for programs, for strategies, for help, for therapy, because we feel like our aliveness is missing, that we are not feeling enough joy, enough passion, enough impetus and energy and power to live our lives. We're not feeling enough empowerment. And so how do we get to that second chakra? So my first big takeaway in this training was that to kind of bring in the twin point from the first chakra issues I call one of the biggest blind spots in personal growth that I have seen over 18 years, is that people have no idea that their issue is actually first chakra, because they don't realize that underneath a lot of their behaviors and a lot of their stress and a lot of their mind spinning and perfectionism is actually the fight or flight response. There is some danger, some fear that is driving us. Yes, even with that need to be perfect or to know everything the first time or do everything right. So at the second chakra, my first big takeaway is that this is the biggest blind spot in the personal growth movement when it comes to the actual practice, the actual doing of the work. Because when it comes to second chakra and all this pain and all this emotion and all this grief, everybody talks about it. Oh, you can't heal unless you feel, and you need to be vulnerable, and you need to feel, and you need to emote. Everybody talks about it. How do you do it? And so we will sign up because we feel like there's something we can't get to and we want more joy. But then in practice, we end up doing a lot of mental stuff. So takeaway number 1 is that this is the biggest blind spot in personal growth when it comes to the actual practice of doing the work. What does it mean to not just acknowledge my feelings, but to really be in them, to move them, to feel them, to sob those tears, and to move to a different emotion? Okay. Number 2, my second big takeaway, again, this was an hour class, so I'm doing my best to summarize it for you. At the second, my second big point is that when your first chakra is in a state of anxiousness, maybe you were raised that way with a lot of anxiety, or raised to be in control, to take care of everybody, to be right, to be perfect, to get everything done. When our first chakra has that kind of programming, again, I talked about that a lot on the first chakra class, Unblocked series, which you can also totally get if you sign up at the link. When you have that fear and terror, you don't have to be aware of it, but when it's running your system, your nervous system is hijacked with fear, we don't need a second chakra. It's like we don't have time when we are in survival mode or avoid the danger mode. We need to just run and mobilize and do. We don't have time to feel our feelings. And so here's my little rhyme. It'll help you remember it. When the nervous system is hijacked, the second chakra is bypassed. Okay, so when our nervous system, our first chakra, is hijacked with fear and stress, our second chakra, our needs, our feelings are bypassed. And we go right up here and right to our third chakra. We get in action, we spin in our head, we figure it out, we go, go, go. And so I hope that helps you remember that when you're in danger, you don't need to figure out how you feel or what you want. You just need to run. You just need to fly. Okay, my takeaway number 3. Can't go too deeply into this one. You're going to have to listen to the call. But it was all about vacuum cleaners and how if you don't have a second chakra, you might as well be a vacuum cleaner. And so many of us women treat ourselves like vacuum cleaners. We work and we work and we work and we work, and we don't say thank you to our vacuum cleaners. And when our vacuum cleaner messes up or doesn't work, we call it a hunk of junk and we throw it away. And for a lot of people on the call, as silly as that sounds, that really resonated, right? I am a doer, a doer, a doer, a doer. And that leads me to number 4, which is it's really convenient for everybody else for you to be like a vacuum cleaner and be work, 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 but not have any needs. Say that again. It's really convenient for everybody else for you to have that magical wand where you are the doer and you go, 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 but you don't really need a lot. Okay, so just kind of take a breath on that one and know that what you think you see is real. Like everybody is happy when you don't have a lot of needs, and that's what one of those things that makes it really hard to change. Okay, number 5. I think I'm going to end up with 7 takeaways. I think I miscounted. Okay, so number 5 is that asking. So second chakra is not just all of our emotions and our needs. It also has to do with the vulnerability of feeling those really strong feelings. And we did an exercise on the call where everyone felt into what they might be carrying down in their second chakra, not wanting to feel. And I'm going to talk about the 5 reasons we resist feeling that the exact way we or our clients will do it. But I want to remind you that if you're a coach in a couple of days on Thursday, let's see, Monday's the 8th, the 9th, the 10th, the 11th, I think, I am teaching a class just for coaches as part of this Unblocked series on how to read your client's chakras. So make sure you sign up at the link. You'll also get an invite to that if you're a coach and you want to hear how to use this work to read clients. But knowing that this is a really big blind spot, it's very counterintuitive work because it makes us vulnerable both to feel these feelings, but also to be open to receiving, to ask, to put ourselves out there and ask, especially when it's convenient for other people for us not to ask for what we really want in terms of love, in terms of joy, in terms of respect and validation and compliments, and yes, money. Yes, money. To put that out there makes us vulnerable. So when we ask for what we really want, oh, there's a moment of vulnerability because now we have to wait and we're no longer in control. That's why, as many people on the call resonated, sometimes we say, you know what, before I ask, I'm just going to try one more year of all out giving and all out proving and all out doing, because then I'm less scared of that scary moment where I ask and then I have to wait. But the other reason that it is very vulnerable making to feel those feelings is sometimes, there's a lot of feeling down there that is stuck. So we can't open our second chakra to the payoff, the gift, the aliveness, the passion, the fuel, the impetus to act without opening up a little bit of that Pandora's box first of the painful feelings that we may have shoved down there or dammed up so we don't have to feel it. So I'm going to give you the 5 ways, and people on the live call were really resonating with which one of these really came up for them, of how we resist feeling. And it's why second chakra work is counterintuitive, and it's the most missed thing in personal growth. We talk about feelings and then we don't do anything about it at a real level. Even people who tap or lead tapping, I find, get stuck in this trap. So these are the 5 things that come up. I don't want to feel this. And by the way, if you have been following me and you've seen me talk about the motivation breakthrough map, you know that layer 3, this green layer here of the motivation breakthrough map, is the I don't want to feel that layer. So let's talk about that. I don't want to feel that, all that I would have to probably feel, Margaret, if I went down to my second chakra, because it'll be too much. It'll overwhelm me. That's number 1. I don't want to feel all that, Margaret, because if I feel all that, that will make me weak. And I'm not weak. I am strong. That is who I am. And I don't want to be weak and sobby. That's number 2. Number 3, I don't want to feel all that because what's the point? Nothing's going to change anyway. And so knowing these 5, you're going to be super intuitive and the way people resist feeling emotion. Number 4, I don't want to feel all that because, it's a lot of anger and rage, and I don't want to look angry and rageful. My mother was like that. My father was like that. I vowed never to be that way. Or needy. If I feel all that, I'm going to sound needy and sobby, and I hate people like that. Sometimes that goes back to number 2, and I don't want to be weak like that. Number 5, I don't have time to feel all that. I don't want to feel all that because I have too much to do. I can't be laying around on the couch sobbing and crying. I have too much to do. This is the way that our mind will talk us out of, convince us, help us resist feeling these feelings, or even feeling them a little bit and then coming right out of them, right? Well, what's going to change anyway? I felt that a long time ago. And I stopped moving the emotion. And the second chakra goes back to being dammed up. And so, yes, that little trite thing that people like to say, you can't heal if you don't feel, this is where the rubber meets the road, is understanding that these are the ways we resist feelings. These are the ways clients will resist feelings. We have to intuitively know these sentences are in there. They are in their systems. We have to work with them. And actually, in the live call, we turn those into tapping phrases. That was the first tapping experience we did around opening up the second chakra, because we don't fight that, we work with it. Okay, and my final takeaway, this could be 6, I don't know, I kept count. My final takeaway is that this second chakra work, just to put this in context, this is the work underneath the work. This is the work underneath the request. This is the work underneath why everybody does personal growth. What they are really wanting underneath is to feel more, is to be more, feel more alive, feel more passion, feel more motivation, feel more joy, feel more love, feel more of their heart, feel more of them. And so the secret reason underneath people sign up for all sorts of things are because they feel like, well, something is missing. And it's always second chakra. It's not like, hey, yes, you would maybe sign up for a course if you're like, I need to be smarter. But when people sign up for personal growth, it's for a feeling. They want to feel something and be something more than they have. And often it's more than someone who just does and does and does and never gets to feel and receive all the good, yummy, joyful, delicious feelings. So know that it's so important to go for that aliveness. And it always seems like the unsolvable problem, but it's not when you work through the second chakra. So this is why for years, I've been at this over 18 years, people say to me, I've done everything, Margaret. I've done all the therapy. I've done all the personal growth. I've done all the cruises with all the famous people. And there's still something missing. And it's because there's something I haven't gotten to. It's second chakra. So if you are a coach or a healer and you want to get to that next level, you want to be able to help people who say there's something I just can't get to, come on Thursday to my live call. It's just for coaches on how to read your clients' chakras. I'm going to be sharing secrets and assessments from Unblocked and how to use this work to really understand intuitively what's going on in your clients, because this work is counterintuitive. There's lots of blind spots and there's lots of ways that we resist doing the work. You got to be smarter. You have to outsmart them. So thank you for being with me here tonight. That is my review of the call I just did. Again, if you want the whole call, it's an hour with tapping. You can click the link and register, and you'll get first chakra and second chakra and invited to the rest in the series. All right. Thanks, everybody. Good night. Bye.